Hey, welcome back to Campground Road, YouTube. I'm Caleb.
I'm Kevin.
And we watched the debate Monday night, September 26th, and it reminded us a lot of how we are. I mean, it was a complete lack of coherent thought process or any kind of masterful thinking.
As Caleb would say, it was very disastrous.
Stay tuned. I am very curious, and I mean very curious. What were your thoughts on what happened?
Why Tom Brokaw's tie ain't match his handkerchief?
Was Tom Brokaw even there?
Yes, they talked to him the first thing.
No.
Yes, and they showed him, and I was like, girl, that tie is
it didn't match his stuffy.
Yeah. That's
terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
His little handkerchief and tie didn't.
I was curious, like, where the puppet strings from Hillary's podium were attached to Lester Holt. That's what I was trying. Did y'all see that? Like, he was like kind of, you know that people were saying that every time she went like this, it was a signal to Lester Holt that she was in trouble, and he'd bail her out. So, like, I watched one of the videos where somebody was saying that was what she was doing, and every time she did this number, he'd jump in and bust right in the middle of Donald. Like, Donald would be talking, like, oh, hold on, fact checker. You know, actually, no, that's not correct, sir.
What's great about that, though, is obviously Donald Trump's little thing to get him out of trouble was...
Well, you know, he's trying to stay awake, that dude.
And whoever was supposed to jump in and get him out of trouble never did.
No, they definitely did.
Because he just snorted the whole fucking night.
He about snorted the mic up his face while he was on stage, that's for certain.
Oh, that's pretty good. Lester Holt, that was the guy. I was trying to remember.
Yeah, Lester Holt is the dude.
Yeah,
he was the one attached to Hillary all night long.
And, I figured he would get some shit about everything. Because,
he has.
Oh, has he? Because the moderator's not supposed to jump in. And...
No, it ain't his job. He was like holding a forum or something. Like, your job as the moderator is to stay out of the picture.
And let them go.
Yeah, because I don't want to see him going in there and be like, backing up Hillary the whole time. That's a bunch of crap.
Well, no, but you do admit, I mean, you have to admit that a lot of the time.
Oh, Trump was screwed from the beginning. He walked into that liberal setup and was just absolutely screwed. She got under his skin just like she planned to do.
Oh, yeah.
And the next thing you know, he's huffing and puffing and 400 pounds.
Well, she walked in.
400 pounds.
Come
on, Miss Piggy. Come on.
She walked in like that fucking little nerd you went to school with that went into like school every time there was a test and just sat there and grinned from ear to ear.
I never want to punch a woman before until I watched that. I just want to knock her right off that stage.
Oh,
gosh, she was awful.
I loved when he would say certain stuff and you would see her go.
She reveled in every. I was so mad.
Yeah.
If he would have just let her talk, she would have hung herself. Like, if he just asked a question, quit interrupting her. Yeah. Like, like when they asked her about cyber warfare.
I think she was.
Oh my God, he didn't even bring up the emails. But I mean, do you realize who you just asked that?
Yeah.
He could have lit into her so bad.
But she came in so overly prepared that there was not.
She was fake. He was real.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
that's what I think. I mean, she's fake. She's a trained politician. He's a regular dude. And when he said that stuff about not paying taxes, that's what everybody that owns a business. We don't want to have to pay any more taxes than we have to.
Yeah.
Because it's profitability you lose. And plus, if you're paying 36%, which is what my tax bracket is, I think 36% of my business is being wasted. And that's how a lot of people feel in the business world.
Well, I mean, she touched on profit sharing. And he just didn't.
She's an idiot.
Seriously, like 20 minutes into it, I sent a text message to Caleb, and I was like, look at us on stage trying to act like we know something.
Throw the facts out the window. Completely.
Here's Caleb standing over there with his 10-page notes, and I'm just like, no, you're wrong.
And you win. How do you win like that? How does that even work with the liberals? Oh, it just don't feel good to me.
That's all you got to say.
That's all it is. It's like, oh, well, if you jump off this cliff, you're going to die. It's a fact. Well, that just don't feel correct to me.
You want to do one of those things where you go, well, science says, and I go, yeah, but my opinion is.
Well, apparently your opinion outranks science, obviously.
And Trump supporters, same way.
We just won't go there.
Okay.
I just don't want to touch on that right now.
So, guys, let us know. What did you think about the debate that happened Monday night? We're going to go over some of the things that they talked about, but overall, from the time they walked out on stage and shook hands, I was just like, here's Caleb and Kevin back like they know they talking about something. And, it's pretty bad. We can be clear on something too. I'm neither pro Hillary or pro Trump. I mean,
We were talking about taxes.
now she said, as she liked to call it, trumped up, trickle down.
Yeah, she said that didn't
Which
work,
for a
right?
few minutes I thought was the sex position, and I googled a couple of porn sites, but it didn't. They didn't get anything successful back.
Back to the subject at hand. So, she wants to tax America's top 1% or whatever, the wealthiest people there are, right?
Yeah,
400 Americans.
you do
Okay.
realize that's not you.
I'm not one of those people.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
'Cause
you
he got talking like
if you
he
take
is.
the 400 wealthiest Americans, right? The 400, the top 400, their combined worth $734 billion. Just those 400 people, which is more than 61%
I'm just going to let you
America.
guide this
Right.
train wreck to exactly where I
So-
was going.
But what she's saying, if we tax that $734 billion, it's going to take care of all our problems, right? No, they'll just leave.
Oh, she said.
Our GDP, which is what we do a year, right?
Our
gross-
goddamn profit.
No, our gross domestic product is $17 trillion. So if you take 75% of $734 billion, it isn't even a drop in the bucket towards our operating expenses if you approach our country like a business. So I don't even see where she even gets at. That's what every liberal, progressive Bernie thing is like, tax the wealthy, tax.
Just
It ain't
gonna
going
let
to
you
do
talk.
nothing. They do have a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
But it's not going to help. It's not going to help. It's not going to change anything. They're just going to leave and then take their companies with
Are
them.
you
and then we're
for or
stuck.
against raising the national minimum wage?
I mean, I wouldn't pay anybody less than $10 an hour. But
Okay.
there's places that can't pay people $10 an hour, because if you do pay somebody $10 an hour, you're really paying them about $12.50 an hour from the business.
Yeah, well, because
Y'all don't realize
understand
that.
that.
Because
Yeah.
every tax that you pay on your paycheck,
There's
the
a-
company matches that exactly on
Yeah.
the back end. So if you paid $120 this week in taxes, guess what? I got to pay $120 a week also.
Yes.
So it's crap. They're double dipping. The government's double dipping on us like you wouldn't even believe. That's why business owners get so upset about all these stupid regulations and taxes. It's like they're bleeding us to death. So, you want to know what I want to know is why on earth are they bringing up the birther thing? I mean, it's a presidential debate,
Oh,
the first
well,
one,
yeah.
and Lester Holt comes out with, well, you said President Obama wasn't real American citizen. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, they put him under a lot of fire for the tax returns, release. Apparently,
What-
yeah.
I feel like they're grasping for straws.
He's the only one who hasn't released
yeah,
his federal tax returns.
Yep. Ever.
And then here it's like it's because you never paid him, and he was like, "I'm smart."
Well, cheers, man. Cheers. Well, I think that's crap. I think the questions that were asked for the most part were absolutely useless and worthless. Like, who cares? Who cares? And Rosie. I mean, he had to bring up Rosie. Why? Why?
Yeah.
Just shh.
Yeah. Well, not to get off topic, but it is our show.
It is our show.
But
So what we want to say.
I watched a thing the other night where it showed all these. I didn't realize that Donald Trump had tried to invest in all these little side things, like Trump vodka, Trump water, Trump
Steaks.
Tour de Trump, like all these things that have failed
Oh yeah, he's got plenty of stuff.
miserably. And they said something about if he would have taken the loan that his dad gave him and just invested it, then he would be worth more now than what he's worth trying to.
I don't know. You take $1 million or 14 million.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
If it was $1 million like he said, or 14 million like they said, and turn it to 10 billion, that's freaking insane. I mean, think about how hard it is to turn $100 into $1,000. I mean, that's not easy to do. I mean, you can do it if you know what you're doing, but it's still not easy, and you don't win every single time.
You
Just
need a
like in the
Jew.
stock market. Yeah, everybody needs a pocket Jew.
but the first question of the night was, they asked Hillary, why are you a better choice than your opponent to create the kind of jobs that will put more money into the pockets of American works?
Hers.
First thing she said was, before they began, that she'd like to thank Hofstra University
Oh my gosh.
for allowing them to
She's
be
like
there.
a hall monitor brown nose.
And that she was glad to be on the stage with Donald Trump, and then she went right into. But she did answer the question. She did.
I just didn't like her answer.
You're wrong.
Of course I.
Was she touched on profit sharing opening up more jobs with renewable energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then they asked Trump the same thing, and I knew it was a train wreck when the first thing out of his mouth was, "In Mexico, they're building plants." And
you know what aggravated me?
this was the time I grabbed my phone and was like, "Caleb, listen to us up on stage."
When they started asking him about paying taxes and stuff,
Yeah.
how I would have so lit into her. How many taxes and how much do you think that the Clinton Foundation's ever paid in taxes? They haven't.
But you said
So what the heck has she contributed? She has sucked the whole life out of the country.
Well, you said
Financially
it the best
and pretty much by looking as hideous as she does.
You said it the best that she comes from a political background.
Yeah.
And
She's not a business person.
She's a trained politician.
Yeah, she's a politician.
And that's
Don't elect a politician.
And that's probably why a lot of people...
She can be bought. Literally, she needs like a Jeff Gordon racing shirt everywhere she goes. It's got like all the company logos on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Does he play like football or something?
Yeah, he plays football.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I know.
I know he's a volleyball player.
I wonder what the next one's going to be like. What do you think the next one's going to be like?
I don't know, because I think it would be really hard to set Trump down and be like, everything you did, don't.
Well, you know what though? If he would let his ego subside a little bit, but the problem is all the polls show he won. And realistically, he didn't really
Politically,
win.
he
just
didn't
has
win.
more. He has more support than Hillary does. That's
Yeah.
why the polls are higher, because he has a whole lot more support, which means he's going to win. But
Which is coming from
he still
someone
didn't
who
win.
says-
He got obliterated.
Yeah, but coming from you, who's like, don't go off feelings. But then the first thing you said to me was, he did so good because he just is who he was, and he just said what he felt.
He was real, and that's appealing to a lot of people. At least he's honest about it. She's so scripted and fake. I mean, really?
But that's a politician.
She's like a mannequin. That's not all politicians.
That's
There's
why.
some decent
No,
ones.
but that's why it's kind of like a.
Well, I like real people.
I mean,
That's what
it's
I like.
really just watching two clumsy people stand on stage and go.
I think Reagan was the best ever.
No,
You remember watching his? God, they were so good. He was so smart, and he would say stuff that was so killer. I mean, he was. It was so good.
okay.
But that was fun to watch. He's just a terrible debater. You think about it, Trump's never had to debate anybody in his life. He just goes and tells them what to do.
Yeah.
You know, in a private sector or a business meeting. I'm sure he's negotiated
And
some
yet
stuff
again,
with the
that's
right people.
someone you don't want to be leading the free world.
Why? It doesn't matter, because he's got the cabinet that's going to be around him is all I'm worried about.
Because,
The people he's going to have around, he ain't going to be making all them calls.
Oh,
He's going to ask
Jesus.
Bob and Sally and George, and they're going to be like, well, here's what we probably should do.
what's the guy that's running for vice president?
Mike Pence,
Oh, yeah.
super conservative.
Yeah.
Super.
I thought his name was Anal Tear. I'm sorry. Welcome to the most intelligent channel on YouTube.
Thumbs happy.
No, I do think it's kind of a joke, though, this whole... It's just like, who are you voting for? And it's like, I mean... It's,
A lot of people say it doesn't matter, and they say it because of Electoral College.
yeah.
But do you know what Electoral College is?
Yes.
What is it?
We've discussed this. The Electoral College is there to... In theory.
In theory, is correct.
The Electoral College is so a very heavily populated area cannot sway the vote. That the votes are equal across the board.
That's not the way it works.
And, well, yes, how it's supposed to work.
It's supposed to,
but it
doesn't
don't work
way
like that.
whatsoever. It's interesting because we've had elections before where somebody's won the popular vote, but the electoral vote is what actually wins the presidency.
Yes.
So,
And the electorates don't have to vote on what the popular vote is. It's supposed to be like a silent, known thing that if you are an electorate, you are going to vote what the popular vote is, but you don't have to do that.
well, the reason you don't have to is because politicians come in and swine and dine and all that stuff with you. Is it wine and dine? Yeah, wine and dine. Yeah. Swine and dine. They bring you some bacon. So they bring in. They come in and wine and dine these electorates and get their votes and then give them money and take them places and do stuff like that. And that's just a bunch of crap. But that's the way our political system works. So I really don't think that Trump is going to lose the popular vote. It's
But
going
you
to be
think the
interesting to
electorates
see.
will go against?
It's going to be really tough.
Well, then...
Clinton has so many so many people in place already in the electoral system.
Oh my God.
She does. She's been
Well,
in politics for 30
I know
years.
that's
She knows
why
them.
I'm sort of shaking my head at that. But if that happens, be ready for
Washington D.C. gonna get burnt down.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be bad.
Tune into the series finale, like that guy said.
Series finale of America, November
Hashtag
2016.
November.
What scares me the most about her is we're $20-some trillion in debt.
Yeah.
And she's just going to keep swiping that credit card and keep swiping that credit card
No.
and keep swiping that credit card. And she's not going to pay down that debt
But
at
where
all.
you
it's
have
going to get
said-
bigger and bigger and bigger. So when my son's older, somebody going to come collect on that credit card. And we're going to default and we're going to lose our position as a world.
No.
I really think that could happen.
No. Because just like you said with Trump,
couldn't
if he got it, the cabinet that surrounds him would prevent him from doing certain things. Well, it's going to be the same thing for her.
I don't think they're good for that globalist worldview, though. The people around her are all about just taking our sovereignty and just going and just spreading it all over the world.
But do you not think that it's time that we sort of catch up with the world a little bit?
We're ahead of
more?
everybody in the world. What do you mean? We are the world superpower.
Oh my! We might be the
navigate
world
and sway
superpower.
everything that happens on this globe now.
But we are okay.
Oh, we're a train wreck financially because
And
we've had a Democrat in
we're
office
very-
and a bunch of crooked Republicans.
We're
for the
very
last-
behind how a lot of the rest of the world thinks.
Oh, we've always been behind. We're stuck in our ways.
I sound like Trump tonight. I'm waiting on somebody to come in and save me. They're not getting the hint.
Where are they? Where are they?
All right, guys. When I do this, I need you to help me out.
Yeah, I don't think. I think we're in a mess if she gets in.
I don't.
And
I think we would be in worse of a mess if Trump got
why?
in. Because he's an idiot.
Why?
Because he's an idiot.
But why would we be in a mess?
Because he's stupid.
Why is he stupid?
Because he's just dumb.
What's he going to do bad?
Everything.
Like what?
Not do anything, but just cause problems.
What problems is he going to cause?
Every one of them.
Got one specific one?
Just the ones that he's going to do wrong.
I give up.
Act like they were even meshing at all.
Who?
Pence and Trump.
Oh yeah. Well, they're total opposites.
Yeah, they were like, didn't know what was going on.
Greg's commentary for the night is from the 60 Minutes episode whenever they introduced Trump's vice running president as Pence. What's his first name?
Mike
Ah,
Pence. It's a normal name.
I keep thinking it's Dickhead.
That's what it's like dealing with a liberal all the time. All the time.
Yeah, that is one thing I feel like I should bring up. I thought about that after watching a couple of our videos. If you guys happen to hear a lot of dogs barking in the background, we're running a puppy meal.
They have a puppy meal that basically it's non-sanctioned. Nobody oversees it, and it smells horrible in here. They're all in cages about this big. I mean, it's
That's
awful.
why every time the camera moves, we're like, no.
Yeah, we don't want you to see that.
We have Greg
I'll
and I
give you his
have
address if you comment.
Greg and I have 3 dogs. We have a Chihuahua, we have a Beagle Lab mix, and we have a Jack
A
Russell.
devil.
Yeah.
A devil dog.
The Jack Russell would be very liberal because he hates this fucker.
What's Jack Russell's name?
Skookisha.
What is it?
Skookisha.
Oh, she's so nice.
Dog is the devil.
He come into the house today with the broom going,
She's trying to kill me. Trying to tear the door down, all 4 pounds of
Keep
it.
in mind, this is a Jack Russell, and he owns a Russian wolf.
Caucasian of Charka.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
She really is. Her name's Storm.
Big sweetheart.
Just like him, pretty, but the intelligence level is...
Whatever. So what we tried to do in this video was mimic what happened on Monday night, the debate of the presidential candidates. A total and complete, utter failure in everything that we did and lack of any insightful information. So that's what we were going for.
He wants you to think this was a mockery, but actually this is how we really are.
So if you want to see more, you need to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
And leave us a question if there's anything you'd like for us to talk about or discuss. Next week we're going to be going over the Second Amendment rights.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
It's always hard at this point in the show because I'm drunk.
See you next time.